There are countless examples of corrupt, evil, and even criminal cops. But what happens to cops who actually get caught? These are 3 examples of cops who realized they were going to jail. Starting with Stephanie Lazarus. She didn't get off nearly as easy.
Now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening.
That's true.
And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing.
No problem.
Okay.
Sherry Rismason's body had been found at her home after being shot 3 times. At the time, police suspected the murder was a result of a burglary gone wrong, but the case went cold when they couldn't identify the suspect. However, 23 years later, when revisiting the case, detectives found evidence that led them towards Stephanie, a girl who had been trapped in a love triangle with Sherry and her husband, John Rotten. So, the detectives decided to bring up John's name to see how she'd react.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on. It involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. Lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated. You know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Both the detectives and Stephanie tried to seem as friendly and relaxed as possible around each other, but Stephanie was obviously starting to get very anxious at this point. Even though the detectives gave a somewhat believable excuse, she was now in an interrogation room, faced by 2 detectives, being questioned about a girl she supposedly murdered 20 years earlier. Her breathing became faster, her language more defensive, and her movements more erratic.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with that.
On cases nowadays. You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Stephanie chose to provide DNA evidence, hoping her willingness to help out would ultimately prove her innocence. But unfortunately for her, just 5 minutes later, the detectives decided they had heard enough and put her in cuffs.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
Stephanie was sentenced to 27 years in prison after being hit with a single felony charge of first-degree murder. But then comes the next cop, Tyler Moody, who was about to get the shock of his life after being brought into the interrogation room.
Have you offered your resignation or not?
I can keep my job and no.
Well, you can't keep your job, okay?
An inmate charged with murder was discovered with a mobile phone and charger. When questioned, Tyler immediately folded and confessed to what he'd done. He expected to just get fired, but he was about to discover that providing contraband comes with a much bigger punishment.
Of every citizen that we have the privilege to serve, and you've betrayed the trust of the brave and selfless men and women that you worked alongside for nearly 3 years. So as of this moment, you're under arrest for bringing a prohibited item, a cell phone, into a correctional facility. That's a 3rd-degree felony.
Providing a prisoner with a mobile phone carries a sentence of 1 year in prison. And that's exactly where Tyler is right now, serving it in the same place that he used to patrol as a cop. But this disturbing act doesn't even compare to the atrocities that Daniel Holtzclaw committed. Daniel was brought in for interrogation after a report came in that he'd made an unlawful traffic stop and forced the female driver to remove her clothing and perform on him. What detectives didn't know was that this was just one of dozens of other crimes that Daniel would find himself accused of.
So we have no misunderstanding because, and maybe I didn't key in on some things. I want you turn in your activity card, walk me through it all again.
Turn my activity card, I leave out of station, turn off my computer, done for the night, head left, go westbound on 50th from Prospect. About a block down, I see a Grand Prix in the outside lane. I was in the inside lane, directly in front of me. Car swerved. At that time, I kind of fall behind of it. Lincoln, I didn't want to light it up at the stop sign, so I waited till it go forward and just lit it up just to the west. And then that's when I made a traffic stop.
Daniel recounted his version of events from that night. Cops said that he didn't report the stop, didn't have dispatch run a records check on the driver, or even let them know that he had just logged off for the night. Daniel simply explained that everything happened so fast, he just forgot to do all of that and made the traffic stop off the grid. The true reality of cases like this is that it's almost impossible to get a conviction as long as there's no video or photo evidence of the event. The victim rarely has the ability to prove what actually happened, as in most places suspects are innocent until proven guilty. This is likely why this turned out to be one of 36 charges eventually brought against Daniel, each more disgusting than the last.
CSI is processing your car right now.
Right.
And when we stepped out, they found some pubic hairs right in here. Could they be yours?
No, that's not. I didn't pull my. I didn't do anything right there.
Did she?
No.
So you think they could be?
No, it's not. No. Nothing of mine.
Your pubes couldn't be
No.
right there?
No.
You seemed a little extra worried whenever you talked about seeing her boobies. You sure she just didn't flash you?
I can't. She did not flash. I don't want to say I can't recall, but I'm pretty positive she didn't
When I
flash.
see a pair of titties,
She went like this, but nothing as far as I'm going like crazy looking.
lifting the shirt.
No. This whole situation and
It's kind of scary.
It is scary, and I don't want my rep to be. Everything's about in law enforcement. 3 years on, I know that, but everything's about your rep.
Absolutely.
And I don't want this to fall on my rep.
Unfortunately for him, this absolutely would affect his reputation, as DNA tests on hair found in the car came back as a perfect match, and statements given by his girlfriend directly contradicted his story. After the interrogation, he was placed on administrative leave, but just 2 months later, 12 more women came forward with claims, and he was subsequently arrested.
Verdict, count 1, battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of battery and set punishment at 8 years. Count 2, procuring lewd exhibition. Not guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition. Count 3, burglary in the first degree. Defendant is not guilty of the crime of burglary in the first degree, nor lesser included. Count 4, procuring lewd exhibition. Defendant is guilty of the crime of procuring lewd exhibition, and punishment is set at 5 years.
Daniel was found guilty on 18 of the 36 charges and sentenced to 263 years in prison, without the possibility of parole.